Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianna. I am a certified personal trainer, a big huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. So you guys loved the last one, so here we are again. This personal trainer is going to be watching and reacting to Beachbody coaches sharing their Instagram workouts. We all know that most of these coaches are not certified or qualified health or fitness or nutrition professionals, yet they are masquerading around as if they are. Between sharing workouts with bad form, spreading misinformative nutrition advice, enforcing their disgusting and overpriced shakes down people's gullets, these people are like blisters on my undercarriage. You're welcome for that image. Before we proceed, if you love health, wellness, and nutrition education with some lulls, what was that? With some lulls along the way, please do some dirty things with that subscribe button down below. I would really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's jump right in. So this first person we are going to look at, based on their profile, they're not a Beachbody coach, I don't think, but they're definitely a user of the programs. She has a lot of videos and we're actually going to take a look at two of them. So let's look at the first one that sparked my interest. So the exercise she's performing here is a glute kickback with a glute band and a dumbbell. So my gripe with this first one is more of an opinion than it is a standard like among personal trainers. I do not understand the using multiple pieces of equipment for an isolation exercise like this. Just in case y'all forgot, an isolation exercise is just what it sounds. It's an exercise that isolates one muscle group. For example, a glute kickback or a bicep curl is an isolation exercise, as opposed to a compound exercise, which works multiple muscle groups at once. For example, a squat is a compound exercise because it engages your glutes, your quads, and a little bit of your hamstrings, and even some of your upper body complex as well. Yeah, I don't understand the using of multiple pieces of equipment for an isolation exercise. It just doesn't make any sense to me. I would never prescribe an exercise in which a client would use a glute band and a dumbbell at the same time for an exercise like this. To me, it just doesn't make any sense. And because she's kind of trying to juggle both pieces of equipment, she doesn't really look stable in her kickback. This is not the only Beachbody person I have seen adding in a resistance band with an exercise that typically just requires a dumbbell. I think that they do this in an effort to increase the intensity and increase the amount of resistance on the muscle, because you do have to figure that Beachbody workouts are home workouts. So I think they do this to kind of try and make it more intense because they don't have the luxury of gym equipment. But when you throw in the band on top of also using a dumbbell, I think you also can be sacrificing your form, and you're also increasing your risk for injury. And there are other ways to add resistance and intensity to your workouts without having to use a bunch of different pieces of equipment for one exercise. For example, you could increase the repetitions, or you could perform a superset. A superset, for those of you who don't know, is when you perform two exercises consecutively without stopping in between. Really quick before we go any further, I think right now is a good time to discuss the difference between a glute band and a resistance band, because you may sometimes see the terms used interchangeably, but they're not technically the same thing. So this is a glute band. This is my glute band. As you can tell, it's quite worn. I have given this thing so much love. This is the brand of mine, Fit Girl. Totally not sponsored, but I've been using this one for years. I got it on Amazon. The most prevailing difference between a glute band and a resistance band has to be the level of resistance and the thickness. As you can see, this is a pretty thick piece of fabric, and it's got the elastic in there. It's got a lot of resistance to it. And when you want to train your glutes and train them well and effectively for growth and strength, you have to train them heavy. And a resistance band usually just isn't gonna cut it, so that's why they have glute bands. Super thick, really heavy, lots of resistance. And then you have a resistance band, which I like to compare more like rubber bands, because they are like rubber band material. Resistance bands can be used on your glutes. There's nowhere that says you can't use them on your glutes, but they're not gonna be as heavy resistance as your glute band would be. Yeah, they're just lighter, and like I said, kind of like rubber band material. So resistance band, glute band. I will now demonstrate for you guys a banded glute kickback. video clip is the same girl like I mentioned before. She has a lot of videos on her profile, and they are, we're gonna help her. So let's take a look at this next video and see what she is up to now. She was doing another compound exercise. Like I just said, remember, compound exercise is one that works multiple muscle groups as opposed to an isolation exercise, which works one muscle group at a time. She was combining a static lunge with a kneeling glute thrust. So her static lunge is actually okay, but where I take issue is how she's doing her kneeling glute thrust. As the name suggests, a kneeling glute thrust targets the biggest muscle of... Onyx just brought me his bone. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, as the name suggests, a kneeling glute thrust targets the biggest muscle of your glute complex, which is your gluteus maximus. This is the muscle that girls on Instagram want to grow and grow and grow until it's so big it has its own gravitational pull. Don't we all? The kneeling glute thrust is a great exercise, but only if you do it right. So my issues with her form with this particular exercise, whenever she's leaning over to do the thrust, she's just kind of doing just that, leaning over, and it really should be more of a hinge at the hips. The point is to use your glutes to lower yourself down, and then again use your glutes to thrust yourself back forward. You're not necessarily thrusting your body up, but you think about it as thrusting your glutes forward. It's a little tough to explain, so that is why I will demonstrate it for you right now. Here is a correct kneeling glute thrust. So this next person we're gonna look at is definitely a Beachbody coach. She's got a link in her profile to her join my team kind of thing, all that stuff. Unsurprisingly, there's no kind of credentials, no RD, no CPT, nothing like that. So we're gonna take a look at one of the workout videos that she has shared on her page. So based on how this video looks, I'm not sure if she did these exercises consecutively or individually. So let's pretend that she did all of these exercises consecutively. Performing all of these exercises back to back would be considered a circuit, which is different than a superset because a superset involves 2 exercises. Based on these exercises, she is training her upper body. Specifically, it looks like her shoulders and a little bit her traps. The first exercise just looks a little bit funny. It might be because I can't see her body because she's wearing a sweatshirt, but I don't know. The one that I really take issue with primarily is the second exercise. She is doing upright rows. So upright rows are kind of a weird exercise. The reason I say that they're tricky because if you do these even a little bit wrong, you could cause a lot of damage to your shoulder joint. It's an awkward and unnatural position for your shoulder to be in. Technically, yeah, you're training your shoulders, but it's not really worth the risk of damaging your shoulders. That's why I don't recommend clients do these. I may do a variation of these myself if I am training myself, but that's me, that's my body, that's a risk that I'm choosing to take. I would never recommend a client do these. The main thing I don't like about her upright row is that she's just bringing her arms up way too high. I see a lot of people bring their arms up to like just below their chin, and that's really just too high. It's actually not necessary to go that high to really feel it. An old friend of mine who has been a trainer for like longer than I've been alive, he's been a trainer for like 30 years, gave me a tip that I'll never forget, and I always pass this on to people who ask me. So for upright rows, boob height is sufficient for you to feel enough of a burn in your shoulder. I even sometimes go just below boob height. You don't need to go all the way up here. Also, I'm not recommending that you do these, but if you must do these, I recommend that you only do these with either a dumbbell, a set of dumbbells, or the cable machine. Do not use any kind of straight bar. When you use a straight bar, it locks your hands and wrists into one position and it doesn't let them move naturally, and that can just cause more risk of injury and even more strain on your shoulders. I will now demonstrate for you a properly executed dumbbell upright row, and I'm gonna give you guys an upper body circuit that I just like better. The next Beachbody coach we are going to look at is in fact a Beachbody coach. She also has a lot of videos on her page, and I kind of just had to take my pick. I just kind of randomly click one, so let's take a look at this one that I picked out. Okay, so my grievance with this video is not so much an issue with the exercises that she's doing, but I'm more griping at the fact that she's not wearing shoes while doing these exercises. As you can see, she's doing a lot of plyometrics, a lot of jumping around. You need to wear shoes when you're doing this stuff. You wouldn't go to the gym and take your shoes off to run on the treadmill or anything, you know, cardiovascular or plyometric like that. No matter how much you weigh, your feet and ankles take a beating every single day from carrying your body weight around. You know, you need to protect them. This person is not the only Beachbody coach I have seen posting workouts doing like plyometric stuff with no shoes on. Now, I feel like I kind of get it. You know, when you're at home, you kind of feel like there's less of a motivation to wear shoes, but you have to put shoes on, especially when you're doing stuff like this. I want to throw this in here really quick. If you've ever been to a gym, you may see a lot of experienced lifters taking off their shoes to squat. That's different than taking off your shoes and doing like plyo lunges or jump squats or something like that. A regular squat is stationary exercise and there's no plyometrics involved. You're not jumping around. So someone not wearing shoes during a regular basic squat of the squat rack is not the same as not wearing shoes during a set of squat jumps. Yeah, so I guess with this one, put on your shoes, okay? Stop it, enough, put shoes on. Okay, so this next person we are going to look at, we have actually seen before. She got a feature in my first personal trainer reacts video. She's definitely a Beachbody coach. She's got a link in her profile and everything. Independent mom, God first, helping others, ice cream and pizza addict, fitness lover, motivator, health and fitness coach. I gave her the benefit of the doubt. I was like, maybe some stuff has changed since last time. Maybe she is a dietitian now, or maybe she's a personal trainer now. No. She's not a personal trainer, no background in exercise science or nutrition science, nothing. Let's see what workout she's posting today. So the exercise she's performing are mountain climbers. Mountain climbers are a simple but challenging exercise, but she has managed to do them in a way that has given my eyes explosive diarrhea. I'm just gonna say it, why is your butt so high? When you get in the position to do mountain climbers, you start in a high plank position, which means engaging your abdominals to keep your body straight, which also means keeping your butt down. I also just hate the fact that she is on her elbows. Doing mountain climbers on your elbows like she is, it's doable, but I wouldn't recommend it for the same reason as, you know, kind of like we mentioned in the last exercise. This position is awkward and it can aggravate your shoulder joints and throw your upper body out of alignment. I will now demonstrate for you a correctly executed mountain climber. So this next guy may look a little familiar to you because we have actually seen him before. He also got a feature in my last personal trainer reacts video, and just like last time, his form is just, oh God. We're gonna help him. In case you guys forgot or didn't see the last video, this guy is definitely a Beachbody coach. He's got a link in his profile and everything. I do Beachbody workouts on my TV. Try a workout on my website under Try Beachbody and join my motivational groups on Facebook under Community. Oh man, this guy is a full-blown hun. Is it called something different whenever it's a guy? Like, do we still say hun when it's a guy? Because male hun bots are extremely rare, we all know that. Most hun bots are women, but I kind of feel like we should call it something different when it's a guy. You guys start brainstorming and drop a comment below. So we're gonna take a look at one of his workout videos and see what he is up to today.
Stretch all the way out. You got 40 reps now. Shoulders back. Really get that nice rotation on the dumbbell. Bend your knees slightly if you need to. Take the pressure off the lower back. Use light dumbbells. I don't want you to grab heavy knees unless you are capable of doing it. Now, but we have so many shoulder exercises. Here, what y'all told us are doing an army crawl, doing it versus shoulders and core. Right now, we're isolated.
I'm trying to be nice here. This entire exercise is just wrong from every angle you look at it. The shoulder press is horrible. The squat is even worse. He's doing a variation of a shoulder press called the Arnold press, and it is named after the legend himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger. He is combining it with what I assume is a squat, but it looks like he's put his own special spin on it. I'm not mad at this combination. This could be a really good upper lower body compound workout, but we need to do some major adjustments of his form. His shoulder press is completely out of alignment. He needs to do a better job of keeping his wrists in line with his elbows. When I say that, I mean, here's the dumbbell. You don't want to be pressing up like this or pressing up like this. You want to keep your wrist in line with your elbow, press straight up. That's what I mean. He is kind of going like this, and that probably means that the weight is too heavy, and he might need to drop weight, which there's nothing wrong with that. You have to respect your body's limitations. As for his squat, just everything is wrong with his squat. I am making the assumption that he's trying to do like a full squat, or, I mean, that's not even, you can, oh God, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. I can't even get my words right. For starters with his squat, his feet are way too close. His feet are almost, hold on, I have to look at it again. Okay, so his feet look like they're actually a little bit closer than shoulder width apart. Your feet need to be wider than that for if you're trying to do a standard squat. They need to be, depending on your anatomy, they need to be at shoulder width or slightly wider than shoulder width. For me, I'm comfortable doing a squat a little bit wider than shoulder width. And you can see his feet pointing out a little bit. That's actually normal for pretty much everybody when doing a squat. If you were to just stand up and do a squat right now, your feet are gonna point out just a little bit. Pointing your feet out just a little bit allows you to bend, to sink low enough into your squat. So his feet are so close that he's not even able to squat all the way down, get his thighs past parallel to the ground. And honestly, since his feet are all wrong, it's kind of setting off a chain reaction and making every other part of the squat wrong. So I have recommended a squat to press exercise before, but not an Arnold press, because I just think it's kind of like, you know, an Arnold press isn't hard to execute, but I feel like when you combine it with the squat, it's almost a little bit too much, like too compound. So I have advised clients before to do just a regular squat to press. So I will now demonstrate for you guys an Arnold press, a proper squat, and a squat to press exercise. So this very last person we're going to look at is in fact another Beachbody coach, and I know for sure that she's a Beachbody coach because she has a picture here in her feed where she's holding up a sign that says, "I am a Beachbody coach, prove them wrong, push yourself." And at the very end of the caption, it says, blah, 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 "I have recently signed up to be a coach. I want to be able to help men and women accomplish and succeed in their journey, and I'm here to help you get started." Okay. In her profile, it says 21 years old, fiance, dog mom, fitness, learning to love myself. No other credentials listed here, no certifications. So, you know, she's just a person who bought, you know, the starter pack. She has some videos in her profile, so let's take a look at one of these here. Okay, so that was kind of a long video. It looks like we did a few exercises. Based on how the video format is, I don't think she did a circuit. It looks like she probably did these exercises one at a time. I'm not mad at every single one of them, but the one that I'm mad at the most is gonna be the second exercise. This one right here, what she's taking the dumbbells and I think she's trying to do a curl and also kind of lean back too. That would be another compound exercise. She's combining a dumbbell bicep curl. And what's funny about this exercise is I don't really know the name of it, and I've yet to meet a trainer that like knows the actual name of this exercise, but it's something that is in a lot of trainers and fitness enthusiast repertoires. You sit, you're kneeling upright, and then you kind of have a weight in your hand, whether it's a dumbbell or a medicine ball or whatever, and you just kind of lean back to keep your body from the top of your head to your knees in a straight line, and you will really feel this in your abdominals when you do this exercise correctly. I don't like the way she's executing it because all she's doing is bending over at her back. She's not using her abdominals to lean her entire body back while keeping her whole body in a straight line. She's just bending at her back and just bending her body backwards. Her curls aren't great, but I want her primarily to work on engaging her abdominals more, to bend her body back so that she's really feeling it in her abs. Now, obviously, when somebody gets into a more developed fitness level, you can go back further and further, and you'll still feel your abs burn. It just depends on your fitness level. I don't think this is a bad exercise for someone for someone with her size to do. I don't think it's bad, but you just have to do it right. Here is a correctly executed leaning back dumbbell holding curl thing. In conclusion, Beachbody coaches, I'm really, really sorry to have to break this to you, but you guys are not coaches. You guys are not certified personal trainers. You guys are not certified strength trainers. You guys are not registered dietitians. A lot of you guys don't even have a nutrition or exercise science background. I think I have said this in all of my anti-MLM videos, and I will continue saying it. Just because you buy the starter pack doesn't make you a coach, and it doesn't make you qualified to be able to give people instruction and know what you're talking about. This is not something that's super common, but I noticed that when somebody... Hello? Hey baby. I'm actually filming a YouTube video right now. Okay, now say hi.
Hola, familia de YouTube, tudo bem com vocês?
Oh, I hung up on him. Sorry, I didn't mean to hang up on you. Okay, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so when somebody loses a good amount of weight, like that last girl, so it looks like she's on a weight loss journey of her own, which is cool. She's lost a few pounds and it looks like she has a goal weight of 180. So cool, she's on a weight loss journey. Just because you have experience in your own weight loss journey does not make you a qualified weight loss professional or a qualified fitness professional. There's no substitute for certification or a degree or a credential. You know what I'm saying? Experience is supposed to supplement your certification. Experience should not be your only form of certification. This girl, I'm just gonna be frank here, 232 pounds to 226 pounds, like that's just a few pounds, that's less than 10 pounds. And I'm glad she's excited that she's making progress on her journey, and I'm excited for her too, but that just doesn't make you qualified. And then for all the rest of the coaches who just kind of buy the starter pack, like sometimes they're people who they work out occasionally and maybe they like yoga and they think that makes them qualified enough to be able to give instruction and fitness advice and nutrition advice and things like that. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry, but it just doesn't. Just because you buy the starter pack doesn't make you qualified. The most prevailing problem with all these fitness and wellness MLMs, Beachbody, Arbonne, Herbalife, to name a few, is untrained and unqualified people sharing workouts and fitness and nutrition advice when they have no grounds to be doing so. And when they themselves have no idea at all what they're doing. We just saw in this video, most of these people are coaches, but some of them weren't even coaches. That means somebody like a coach was watching this person perform these workouts incorrectly, and because they themselves are not trained, they have no way to offer them, hey, this is how you do this correctly. Hey, we need to work on your form. A real personal trainer, somebody who's certified in their profession, a fitness professional, is gonna be able to tell somebody, hey, you're doing that wrong, let's fix it. And then you have actual coaches that are doing exercises incorrectly and coaching people. That means you're coaching them how to do things incorrectly. Watching these videos hurts my eyeballs so bad. But you know what? Somebody's got to do it. I think of all my anti-MLM videos, these are the most fun for me to make. They're really interactive and dynamic, and I'm glad that you guys like these. So if you're new and you're watching this, please give me a like and a subscribe. I would really, really appreciate it. We got to keep on spreading the word, and we got to just keep on spreading awareness. So thank you so very much for watching, and I will see all of you guys in the next one. Bye.